Welcome into the halfway house, everybody. Dave, how we doing this evening?
Oh, it's a wonderful evening here. It's coming up to one of my favorite topics of the year to talk about here.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
I know.
It's one of the biggest sports days of the year. It is Super Bowl Sunday in 2 days.
And something called the Waste Management Open, finishes up on Sunday too.
It does. And I'm glad that the 1 year they did push it back because of the Super Bowl being in Arizona. But funny enough, 2 years ago, they had this exact Super Bowl in Arizona and the Waste Management finishing on the same day.
I know. Which was crazy. So
yeah.
But outside of crazy, we'll get into our picks here for the Super Bowl. We can see who I'm trying to rep here this weekend. I know I'm a Dolphins fan. Everybody knows it. Baseball season is right around the corner. I'm a diehard Phillies fan. And so, this weekend it's to be a lot of fly, Eagles fly.
Well, you all know I'm a Giants fan, but I went to the greatest university in the land, Penn State.
Yes.
And my boy Saquon is hopefully going to have a day. And I wish him the best on Sunday. So
yeah, I can't say that a lot around here because I live in the Midwest and it's Chiefs country out here. And there's giant cutouts of Patrick Mahomes all over the Hy-Vee and Travis Kelce and everything else. And my son is a diehard Chiefs fan. Sometimes you just don't raise them right.
Hey, I live in the Colts country out here, and they're only doing slightly better than my Giants, which the way my Giants are being run, I kind of want to root for the Eagles just because the Eagles deserve this and the Giants don't deserve this because you let generational.
But you know who we're not fans of? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, but here's the thing I was about to say, and it's good you said that, is the only person making the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants GM, look not as bad is the Mavericks right now.
That's the even Mark Cuban didn't know.
Mark Cuban, I mean, he sold off his majority share a few years ago, but look at what is happening to the team that you kind of made famous. So
you think Anthony Davis is going to be great. I understand.
No, this was the I want to get rid of Luka. Like that's 100% what this looks like.
Yeah. I know some reports have come out that they just felt that they weren't going to be able to give him that max contract at the end of the year and trying to reap something, before. And we've seen it all with free agents before, but the guy just bought a $15 million house and closed last week on it in Dallas.
This is a terrible business decision. And to be honest, what I heard is I think it's the GM or the owner. One of the guys that was part of this decision is the same guy who used to work for Nike, made the decision called Steph Curry, Stephen Curry, and lost out on that. So these are some bad decisions that are out there. What's up, Will? I want to hear Will say "Go Chiefs" in the background here.
Hey, Will, come here.
I want to ask Will because we're talking. This is what the halfway house is about today. We're talking about the Super Bowl, so you can repeat. All right, yeah. Will, can you hear me?
Come here. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Will, who are you rooting for on Sunday?
Chiefs.
There we go.
Hey,
all right.
The back of that.
That's what we want.
It's the Grizzlers hot dog.
Oh, nice. So, well. Go Chiefs, Will. All right. With that, in this halfway house, so nice appearance by Will, one of the golfing sons here on the tavern.
Yeah. And if you don't get our reference to the Grizzlers hot dogs, go back, check out our show on Tuesday and something that Greg found.
Yeah.
There
check out the tavern.
I completely forgot that he got sent that shirt too. So it's just
nice
fitting that it popped up here. But we do odds with Dave. I have.
Oh, I'm bringing it
I
up right
know.
now.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into it. This is typically a tavern segment, but I
Yeah.
wanted to give Dave his due, being our reigning PGA picks leader and our odds guru here at the Golfing Dads.
Can we just call it
Let's talk the
degenerate
Super
gambler
Bowl.
too?
Well, I wasn't
Let's.
going to go that far with
I
it.
wasn't to go that far, but I enjoy making the sports wager. I am by no means an expert, but I have a pretty decent track record. So far with the PGA, and it does not reflect any well on my fantasy football scores from this past year, but my track record on other things isn't bad. So let's start with one of before the game even starts, you have the national anthem. Now, years ago,
We love a good prop bet. So
we love a good prop bet. So
prop bets are fun.
The average length that it takes somebody to sing the Super Bowl on average in the national anthem on average is about 1:55. Alicia Keys holds the record for the Super Bowl at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And Billy Joel had the shortest at 1:30. So the prop bets come in and out. And a couple years ago, when Christina Aguilera said the wrong words,
Yeah.
in there, this prop bet kind of went away because they had to pay everybody out that made that bet because she didn't actually sing the correct version of the Star Spangled Banner. But most of the prop bet right now, if you can find the prop bet, the over under is about 120 and a half seconds right now, for this bet. So it is a soul artist, John Baptiste. He's a New Orleans native, is singing. I don't know if there's any accoutrements with him. Usually, if there's a guitarist or a saxophone player, that you have a pretty good bet on the over. But not knowing too much about this artist, if he's out there as a solo performer, I'm probably going to shoot for the under.
I was thinking the same thing. I think the under is probably the good shot on this one. I mean, it's a fun prop bet that's out there.
It's a fun prop bet,
and we love these good prop bets. So, what's another good prop bet you got for us? And don't say that the coin toss.
Here's another one because it's our boy. It's Saquon's birthday on Sunday. There's quite a few different prop bets out there. The best one that I found for right now for Saquon is 150-1 for him to score 5+ touchdowns.
I like that bet.
Birthday.
I want that to happen.
I would love that to happen. The other fun one with that one that's in the trending specials right now is your mobile QB bet. It's a 10-1 bet right now that Patrick Mahomes will have his longest run of 20+ yards and Jalen Hurts to have his longest run of 20+ yards.
That might be a good parlay.
It's parlayed together at a 10-1 special right there for those. I think that's Mahomes and Hurts average sometimes when they scramble about 15 yards at a time. So you're not pushing an over and under there. It's a single bet. Right there.
Is that to average that, or is that to have one run of 20 yards?
One run each for each of them at 20+ yards?
Okay.
We could talk about TD scores here. You have your normal guy. Saquon and Jalen Hurts are both at negative odds. You figure that if the Eagles get down to about the 1 yard line and the Commanders aren't trying to jump off sides and have them awarded a touchdown, that the tush push is going to happen and Hurts is going to get in there. Probably the most interesting one that Patrick Mahomes right now is coming in at just a little bit over at 3-1 for Patrick Mahomes to score a touchdown by himself. and he's 25 to 1 to have 2 TDs. So that's
Okay.
not he can't throw for a TD. Mahomes has to run the ball in.
Didn't he have two TDs last week?
Yes, he did. So, which is why I find that one pretty interesting. And then you have the Eagles and the Chiefs defense. Probably better odds that I've seen in a long time. And this includes special teams. So this could be a kick return. It could be a punt return. Eagles at 5.5 and Kansas City at 6-1 on the odds of a defensive special teams touchdown.
Well, the Eagles have the best turnover margin this year. Their defense has the best. I think have the best chance of that.
So we also see the other birthday boy on there, Cooper DeJean, proud Iowa Hawkeye, right there. It is also his birthday. Cooper returns kicks and punts for them.
So we got a Nittany Lion and an Iowa Hawkeye that are sharing a birthday that are in the Super Bowl together.
Whose numbers add up to 59, which is Super Bowl 59.
That's impressive.
Yes. So that's a pretty good bet right there. So the most interesting one is that there are no touchdowns scored at all in the game, which is 120 to 1 if there are no touchdowns scored in the game.
So it's just field goals.
Just field goals. And there are actually players with worse odds than that to score a touchdown, that no touchdowns actually has better odds than
them actually scoring a touchdown. So let me ask you this. One of my favorite prop bets that it's one of those fun prop bets that you're probably going to have to look this up. Color of Gatorade dumped on the winning coach.
I have it. Okay, so in all fairness here, I use DraftKings. For a lot of this, DraftKings is not affiliated with the Golfing Dads Tavern or the Golfing Dads Halfway House. It is just who I use. It is who I have pulled up on my handy dandy phone right here. I have not seen the color of Gatorade as one of the prop bets coming out right now. I usually like that prop bet. Orange has been the prevailing color of Gatorade over the last couple years. Even Andy Reid has been dumped in orange Gatorade for winning the Super Bowl. So usually your colors are clear, orange, because water, orange, or I believe red and blue have been there as colors as well too. One of the more interesting specials. 2 wide receivers in very heavy pass offenses, Xavier Worthy and AJ Brown, the number 1 guys on each. It's a parlay bet for both of them to each have 50 plus receiving yards.
Okay.
Which I think is, if you're looking for bets just to, make a couple quick dollars here or something like that, that's a 1-to-1 bet right there. You can parlay that with some other options. If you'd like, but it's a fairly easy bet right there to get a couple quick bucks in your pocket. That's what you're looking for right there.
All right, so let's talk the game itself out here.
Yeah.
So this is a rematch of 2 years ago. So
when Mama Kelsey became a household name.
100%. The game was 38-35. So over under 73 points total. What's that line looking at right now?
That line, let me get back, because that's not where I thought you were going, but let me get back.
I know. I'm going more places though. But I thought that would be interesting.
It is a lot less than that. The over under for the game right now is 48.5. I am taking the over.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. Because I think these defenses are gonna be better than they were 2 years ago. So I think the over of that is good, but I think these defenses are pretty stout, but these offenses are also better than you think as well.
But the Eagles are getting 1.5 and the over's 48.5 right now. So Eagles money line is paying at almost 1-to-1 where Chiefs money line is negative, even though they are, um, well, they're -1.5. But yeah, 48.5 is your over under as of right now, as of this recording on Friday. That line is going to push and jump and go all over the place between today and when kickoff rolls around on Sunday. And that line, if you choose to make the bets during the game, whether you're using DraftKings, ESPN Bet, FanDuel, there's all different types of bets, in-game bets that you can get out there and use. I just like to use DraftKings, and it's who I use. But yeah, 48.5 as of this broadcast. Could change, during we're doing it right now. So, but I do like the over on 48.5. I think it's the defenses are going to be stout, but it's very hard to hold back Mahomes and Saquon and those offenses right there.
So this is I think there's never been a three-peat in 20 or 58 years of Super Bowls. There's never been a three-peat.
Correct.
I think this is also the first attempt at a three-peat where,
well, unless you want to count the Buffalo Bills losing 3 in a row.
Well, they lost 3 in a row, but they never had a chance to win 3 in a row because they never won one of them.
Yes,
so
true.
This is the first time that someone's been able to attempt it. So I think that's very significant in this. One of the things that I think is also significant here that I don't think a lot of people know, we talked to the NBA in the beginning of this a little bit with Luca. Did you know Pat Riley owns
the trademark
of three-peat?
Yes, he owns about 7 different variations of the three-peat trademark in wording, and whether it's spelled, it's hyphenated, it's a hashtag, it's one word. He got that with the Miami Heat, I believe. So he's held that for 8 or 9 years. So it'll be interesting to see if the Chiefs happen to pull this off, what the NFL comes up with wording. I'm sure those shirts are already printed and ready to go, whether there's been backdoor conversations between the two. But Riley does have, the three-peat letters and numbers associated with his trademarks.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. And I was looking through the past winners. Your Miami Dolphins are the only team that has won 2 out of 3 Super Bowls, but they lost the first of the 3 that would have made them a three-peat.
Yep.
They won the next
back in
2.
the 70s.
Yep. But this is the first time it's been attempted for the third
73. One. Yes.
That the team has made it. And to be honest, it would be the Eagles. If they beat the Eagles, they beat them in the first of the 3 and the third of the 3. So it's a very interesting way this could play out on Sunday.
It is not it's not who the odds makers thought was going to be, even though they're the number 1 teams coming into this. Money was on the Lions and almost anybody other than the Chiefs.
So, Dave, I'm going to ask you this because this is going to be a question that everyone's going to think about that's here. And I've asked everyone else in the NFL, and I've asked Chiefs fans this. So I want to ask you this. Do you think that the refs favor the Chiefs?
I think if the wind blows hard enough on Patrick Mahomes, the wind is going to get a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I don't think there is blatant favoritism.
I don't think there's. I think he gets calls, and we talked Luca here. Let's talk Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan got to, we've all seen
Tom Brady. We can name a whole bunch.
Yeah. I think once you reach that level, there's going to be certain things. Now, are the Chiefs scrutinized a little bit more because of who they are? And it's the same that, Tom Brady got scrutinized as well too. The people that are the best at what they do, is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, if you look at his numbers as compared to a lot of the other quarterbacks this year, he's middle of the pack with his numbers. Joe Burrow had an outstanding season. You put, that's Cincinnati defense that, couldn't stop the wind blowing over. But
Well, I think that if you actually look at this from the standpoint, and we're the golfing dads here, when Tiger Woods got people calling in on penalties that he's doing because it's more televised, I think that's the same thing here. I think there's
yeah,
more eyes on this, and I think the refs are making bad calls. I think if you actually look at the numbers and the penalties that are called, it's even. There's not anything that's there. The thing that gets scrutinized is that a lot of these calls, there has been a lot of bad calls that have worked in the Chiefs' favor. And I think that's just because people are looking for it. It's there.
it's there.
Now,
It's
I don't
you know,
think they get the favoritism. I think that people like see this, they want to be like, oh, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here. You know what? They only lost one game. You can't rig that many games as an official. I've talked to officials, friends that are officials on the professional level, and they have said that. They said you can't rig a
no,
game and call stuff the way it
no,
is. If you call it out there and they are penalties, this is what happened.
yeah,
Holding happens on every play. They miss stuff, but you can't blame the refs for this.
no.
Even no matter what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, the Chiefs could easily have been 8-8 if it wasn't for a field goal off the upright, blocked field goal, somebody missing a botched snap. Josh Allen getting a first down and having it misspotted. But I digress.
Yeah, smack of the week. The week when I wasn't on.
But we're being big baseball fans as we are, umpires, referees, these guys, this is their living. This is, Major League Baseball umpires. Yeah, that's what they do. 162 games a year. A lot of NFL officials also have jobs that they do during the week. Some of them do, some of them don't. We know those stories, but this is their job. This is their livelihood. They're out there, to make the best calls to their abilities. Are things going to get missed? Yes. Are there 127 4K, 5K, 10K cameras pointed at everybody, and the armchair quarterbacks and the media analysts and everybody else, and they say, well, they missed this, the hands to the face here or a holding here? There's
the face of the league is always going to be scrutinized, the face of anything.
Yeah.
Because that's who most people are watching. So, all right, Dave, with the last 2 or 3 minutes we have here, I got to ask the last question. Who's going to win?
Eagles.
Eagles? All right.
I'm going to take the Eagles by a touchdown.
Eagles by a touchdown. Okay.
Eagles by a touchdown.
All right. I want the Eagles to win. But I would also like to see the three-peat just from that aspect.
And Saquon Barkley is your MVP.
I am rooting for Saquon. I think Saquon deserves the MVP of the league this year.
Yes.
So that's 100%. But with that, enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. Enjoy this special Odds with Dave with some of our fun picks there. But no matter what, have some good drinks. Have some great food and enjoy watching the Super Bowl with great family and friends.
Cheers, y'all. See you next week.
Cheers.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, have an opportunity to build something
that has gone viral on our TikTok. That somebody was commenting about playing with